Define the Russian equivalent of the English idiom happy as Larry.
New Zealand.
I'm feeling pretty good right now. I get to go over the middle. Exhausted, exhilarated, happy as Larry.
But what we didn't factor in is that I have a changeable condition. I need help when I need help, and immediately. But you can leave me alone for many hours and I'll be happy as Larry otherwise.
To be honest, we don't really know who Larry is, but we all generally agree that he's a really happy guy. So we all want to be as happy as Larry. You can use it any time you're feeling happy, not crazy happy, not ecstatic, but just right there in the middle.
Extremely happy.
There's a public holiday coming up, and I'm going away with my friends, so I'm as happy as Larry.
I gave her a police badge to wear on her sleeve, and she's as happy as Larry.
We married 9 days after we met, and 3 years on we're happy as Larry.
Идиома означает быть очень счастливым.
Define the Russian equivalent of the English idiom go under the knife.
They thought it would be romantic to go under the knife together and wake up with 2 new hearts.
Katie Acosta is about to go under the knife.
Thank you.
Thank you.
She's giving away one of her kidneys.
The next one is to go under the knife. This means to have an operation. But it also can refer to cosmetic surgery. So if somebody says she's been under the knife, it means she's had cosmetic surgery. But if I said I had a really sore leg but I went under the knife, it means I had a sore leg but now I've had an operation.
Having a medical operation.
Emily was nervous, but knew she had to go under the knife to have her appendix removed.
More and more women are choosing to go under the knife to improve their appearance.
In Hollywood, it's completely normal for women to go under the knife for cosmetic surgery after the age of 20.
Идиома означает провести медицинскую операцию или хирургическое вмешательство. Часто используется для описания хирургических операций по улучшению внешности.
Define the Russian equivalent of the English idiom in raptures.
I was quite in raptures at her beautiful little design for a table.
On July the 17th, just 3 days after the storming of the Bastille, Louis XVI reluctantly presented himself at the Hotel de Ville. There, the Commune took him up to a balcony and sent him out to see the crowd. The sight of the king on the balcony of the Hotel de Ville, apparently all cool with the revolution, sent the Parisian mobs into raptures.
So, when he asked this question, what is life, the yogi went into raptures. And then he said, life is like the fragrance of jasmine upon gentle spring breeze.
To feel or express extreme pleasure or enthusiasm for somebody, something.
Davies goes into raptures over the brilliantly coloured paintwork.
Ben must be really happy at his new job, as he goes into raptures every time he talks about it.
She stood in raptures before the beautiful painting, transfixed by its colors and composition.
Идиома означает быть чрезвычайно впечатленным чем-то и относиться к этому с энтузиазмом.
Define the Russian equivalent of the English idiom a happy camper.
It's like creamier inside. It's like vanilla maybe, with a chocolate topping. I mean, that's just a win in my books. I is one happy camper. I've told myself and admitted on camera I'm not going to eat them all now, so here we go.
He gets submissions from all around the world. They use techniques that he's never heard of, and for his $500,000 in prize money, Rob McEwen finds $3.4 billion worth of gold. The market value of his company goes from $90 million to $10 billion, and I can tell you because he's my neighbor, he's a happy camper.
A happy camper indicates that you're really content, really satisfied, rather than extremely happy. But interestingly, happy camper is often used in the negative form as well.
Pleased about a situation.
When the company reshuffled the organization, the team were not happy campers.
And within 2 months, she was a happy camper, and she's been doing awesome ever since.
This bloke is such a happy camper that I'm getting annoyed by the mere sight of him.
Идиома означает чувствовать себя довольным и удовлетворенным. Часто используется для описания ситуации, в которой человек доволен тем, что у него все в жизни складывается удачно. С частицей not имеет негативное значение.
Define the Russian equivalent of the English idiom as fit as a fiddle.
I got a heart scan 2 years ago, and my heart scan showed that my heart wasn't dilated anymore. So I came off a medication, and all of a sudden I became as fit as a fiddle again.
With a little determination and willpower, it is possible to change the way you live and keep in shape. Just an hour a day for a walk around the block or a couple of workout sessions per week at the local gym can help you to stay as fit as a fiddle.
I was off work for 6 months before the operation, but I'm delighted to say that I've completely recovered and now I'm as fit as a fiddle.
In very good physical condition.
John exercises regularly to remain as fit as a fiddle at the ripe old age of 86.
Yes, I did have surgery a few months ago, but I'm as fit as a fiddle now.
The team had partied late into the night, but on match day, each of them was as fit as a fiddle.
Идиома означает быть в хорошей физической форме, очень здоровым и сильным. Часто используется для описания человека, обладающего отличным здоровьем, несмотря на его возраст или другие факторы.
Define the Russian equivalent of the English idiom make one's day.
Before I share these 2 super important lists with you, I want to pause and send you my deep appreciation. You make my day with your comments, your likes, and your shares of my videos.
If I show up on set and I'm like, well, okay, I think maybe we'll do a shot here. Okay, now that we're done with that shot, maybe we'll go over here. That wastes everybody's time, and you are definitely not going to make your day even if you have 16 hours to complete your shoot.
So definitely head over to his channel now. I'll put the link to his video in the description box too.
Yeah, and thank you obviously for having me.
No worries.
On this
It was
humble
good.
day.
Yeah, it was good. Go sub, make his day.
Just 1 subscriber will make my day.
Honestly, how good is it?
To make somebody feel very happy on a particular day.
When my neighbors surprised me with homemade chocolate chip cookies, it really made my day.
My father sent my mother flowers and it really made her day.
My boss made my day when he highlighted my contributions to the report in front of the board of directors.
Идиома означает вызвать у кого-то ощущение радости или счастья, когда происходит что-то неожиданное или приятное, и эта ситуация делает день этого человека лучше. Например, если кто-то получает комплимент или подарок.
Define the Russian equivalent of the English idiom down in the dumps.
Just as I was fighting the monster with my sword, a princess wandered past and complimented my fighting skills. It was here that I realized I was completely head over heels in love. I asked her if she wanted to join me in my quest, but she said she was busy. I showed her my impressive sword, but she still said she was busy. Feeling a bit down in the dumps, I continued on my quest.
Depression isn't about negativity, or even a sort of stereotype, for me at least, of being down in the dumps. It's just being absolutely convinced that my life's not worth anything, that the future only holds blackness.
But first, I have a question for you, Neil. In English, there are many idioms which describe being sad, including down in the dumps, meaning that you feel miserable and depressed.
Feeling unhappy.
Jim saw Henry coming out of a third-rate hotel, looking terribly down in the dumps.
As the things were not going well for her at work, she was feeling a bit down in the dumps.
My cat got fever today and she is not playing but feeling down in the dumps.
Идиома означает быть в унылом настроении или чувствовать себя очень грустно.
Define the Russian equivalent of the English idiom like death warmed up.
So that by the time I was doing the blessing at about 6 p.m, I looked like death warmed up. And I sent them off to my organist, who's the tech guy, and just said, you can see I'm not well. I'll see how I am in the morning.
I feel like death warmed up.
2 hours later.
I feel quite good.
I feel good.
I feel good that it's now 8 a.m. and I'm usually in bed now.
I've been transformed to the morning gym life
until
6 a.m. tomorrow.
The last one is actually my favourite health-related idiom because it's so funny. I find it really funny. It is to feel like or to look like death warmed up. If somebody looks just dreadful, so ill, so unwell, pale, grey, big bags under their eyes, you can tell them they look like death warmed up. It's just such a funny phrase. You can't not smile when somebody says that to you, unless you're feeling like death warmed up, of course.
To look or feel very ill or tired.
Sarah caught a terrible cold, but went to work anyway despite looking like death warmed up.
With her pale face and dark circles, she looked like death warmed up.
I went out last night with friends and drank too much. Today I feel like death warmed up.
Идиома часто используется для описания кого-то, кто выглядит чрезвычайно бледным, слабым и нездоровым, как будто он вот-вот упадет в обморок.
Define the Russian equivalent of the English idiom a clean bill of health.
Gonna crack my knuckles and jump for joy. I got a clean bill of health from Dr. McCoy.
The scientists were immediately placed under quarantine and monitored for signs of the deadly virus. Luckily, none of them were infected, and all of the scientists were freed with a clean bill of health.
To ensure a clean bill of health, keep those barrels oiled and don't try and shoot your way out of a stuffed pellet situation.
A report that says somebody is healthy or that something is in good condition.
Doctors gave him a clean bill of health after a series of tests and examinations.
The building was given a clean bill of health by the surveyor.
Of 30 countries inspected for airline safety, only 17 received a clean bill of health.
Идиома часто используется для описания медицинского осмотра, когда врач заявляет, что пациент здоров. Также может использоваться в контексте официального заявления о том, что что-то признано безопасным, законным или находится в хорошем состоянии.
Define the Russian equivalent of the English idiom have one foot in the grave.
Mother Teresa didn't have one foot in the grave just yet, so she knew exactly what was going on. She green-lighted the whole process and laid back and waited for the priest to do his best.
The Dead Sea's water level shrank by an astounding 4.9 feet. Unfortunately, it seems the Dead Sea already has 1 foot in the grave we've dug for it. Every once in a while, though, people with 1 foot in the grave manage to put together something inspired before they kick that bucket.
To be so old or ill that you are not likely to live much longer.
After his heart attack, Tom felt like he had 1 foot in the grave and wasn't about to waste a single moment.
It is impossible to say how old the man was, but his hair was white as snow, and he had 1 foot in the grave.
He's been telling everyone he's got 1 foot in the grave for years now.
Используется для описания кого-то, кто очень стар или очень болен и вероятно скоро умрет.